we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good morning. How are you? Good, good, good. My name is Diana Jones. I work for the company that supports negative pressure here at your hospital. It used to be when we said KCI, you automatically thought negative pressure. Now we say 3M. The reason we say 3M is because KCI was purchased by 3M in late October 2019. Okay? Nothing has changed. So that's the good thing. So what we're going to talk about is a person who has either discharged from your hospital and is in their home, or maybe they're coming from a skilled facility, but wherever they're coming from, they've got a wound and they've got negative pressure applied. Now here's the thing I want you to consider. We are not the only negative pressure company, so when I'm talking about our product, I can't speak to some of those other smaller devices or anybody else's product. I don't know how you want to handle that, so just know that if you are dealing with a person who has negative pressure, our devices will say 3M on them, okay? Really, what I'm going to talk about is very general, so you don't have to know a whole lot about the machine, but if in the event that you do, I've got one thing that I've brought here that's a troubleshooting guide, and then the other thing I've done is given some of you have it in your hand, is just tips and tricks for application removal, and then if it's alarming, okay? So typically what happens in the ED is a patient's going to come in. It may not be that they're here for their wound. It could be they're here for something else and just happen to have a wound, okay? So what we want to see if they come through your ED is that they have a dressing on, it's intact, all right? That it's together, that it is attached to a device. This is our connection right here. So we want to make sure that it's attached. If it is attached, the dressing is drawn down, it looks nice and tight. I say if it's tight, we all right. So if it's nice and tight, we all right. We're not going to do anything with it, okay? The other thing we're going to be looking at is just to make sure that it's on. This is the most common device that you may come across in the ED because this is the device that is in the home setting, okay? And then the other one that we have in the skilled setting is going to be going away eventually, so we're not even really talking to that machine. This would be the machine you will most likely see 95% of the time, all right? So, all right, light it up a little bit. This machine is very simple. The only thing you'd be looking for is the on-off. As long as it's illuminated green, it's on. Many times they're not going to bring their charger, but if they do, that's great, and they're waiting, then that's something that they should probably go ahead and plug in, okay? So there is just a little, where is this one on here? Just a little bitty hole over here that it plugs into. They should know how to plug in their machine, okay? We don't need to go over that. There is also a battery light indicator. Everyone in this country probably knows how to operate a device that has a battery light indicator because we all have cell phones. If you're in a panic and it's gonna die, we're looking for the cord, right? So if it does, the machine does die while they're with you, it's okay. You don't have any extra chargers, all right? It's like our iPhones. If I get nervous and I say, oh gosh, my battery, I got 10%. I'm on low battery mode. I'm looking around and asking, do you have a charger? Do you have a charger? Do you have a charger? Because I'm going to need it. With this, you guys aren't going to be able to find one if they don't bring it. Okay, you don't have extras lying around. Okay, so this is what we want to see. If this is what you see, let it be. You ain't going to do nothing with it. Okay? I do not want emergency room nurses knowing how to change your dressing. Because the one thing I will tell you is if something is not right, we ain't tight, we ain't all right, then the most common direction I will tell ED nurses is to remove it. I say that gently because it's one of two things. They're either going to be in your emergency room and they're going to go back home because they're not admitted, or they're going to get admitted and go up onto one of your nursing units. Once they get to the nursing unit, it's their responsibility to handle the situation, okay? So, patient comes in, nothing's wrong with it, let it be. If they go back home, they address the issues at home with their device. If they go onto the floor, they'll address the issue, okay? Here's what happens. I know it's not your house, it's not your thing, but once they get admitted, the dressing must be removed within 24 hours, all right? Because there is a difference in level of care. They've come into the hospital, the level of care is different. The nurses on the unit will handle that. They need to remove the dressing within 24 hours. It will be up to the prescriber or whoever admits the patient to determine if negative pressure will continue. If that happens, then the wound team will get the dressing on and switch over to the hospital vac. Right? There's a different vac in the hospital than there is in the home setting. They will then tell the patient to take that device home. We're going to use the one you have here. Okay? All right. So everything's good. We don't worry about it. Let it be. Here's what we do worry about. Something like this. What you'll notice is it's half ripped. It's pulled back. It looks a little junky. This, if I hook it up, is not going to give me the same drawdown that you see here. Okay? It may come looking like this as well. Where's your machine? Oh, I left it at home. Okay, no worries. It's fine. If they come in detached, not attached to a machine, the dressing is halfway off. The best thing we can do, guys, is remove the dressing. All right? Kathy brought up, I've heard this 2-hour rule. Yeah, but let me tell you, your patients will not be honest. Sir, how long has the back been off? An hour. We don't know that for sure, but what we're trying to do is keep them safe. So the 2-hour rule exists because if negative pressure is not hooked up to this dressing, the foam in the dressing becomes a petri dish. So we want to get it out of there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's been an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. We want to keep the patient safe so we can go ahead and remove it. If they're detached, remember, if they're attached, machine is running, no worries. Let it be. This here, we'll just go ahead and remove the dressing. When we remove the dressing, it's just a moist gauze. You can use normal saline. I just always go normal saline, right? You guys have that ready available in the ED. Moist gauze and a cover dressing, whether that's a foam dressing, it's, whatever dressings you guys have. I don't need you to patch it up. I don't need you to know how to dress it. Just take it off and put moist gauze. Again, if we do that and they go home, home care will address that. If we do that and they go upstairs, the nursing staff will address that. Okay? All right. So, any questions? Any questions? Here's the other thing, guys. How often does this happen?
I was going to say, how many of you guys have seen it? Here and there? Yeah. So,
Yeah?
So, okay.
And what was your plan?
Yeah. You're like, I
I
don't know
think
what
we
to do.
took it off and sent them down here or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we didn't have the, is it white? We didn't have the dressings to put back on.
You don't.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want you to redress it or do anything with it. I don't need you to patch it up or anything. The best thing we can do is just remember this foam, when it is not attached to negative pressure, is a petri dish. So the best thing to do is just get it out, okay? What about you, ma'am?
I just took it off.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's what I want you to do. So everybody's hearing that same message, right? Okay, so here's the other thing that may happen for you is you've got the machine. As long as it's not alarming, you don't have a problem. But it's when it alarms that we do have a problem. This thing will alarm at you for essentially 3 reasons, and 3 reasons only. Low battery, easy fix. Ma'am, do you have your cord? No, I don't. Okay. That's going to be a problem because we don't have battery juice. But just let it run until it dies. Okay? We don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to go back home or are they going to stay with us? If they stay with us, we're going to take it off anyway. Second reason is a leak. Again, I don't need you guys to perform surgery on here. We are not OR nurses. We are ED nurses. So just, kind of walk around it and make sure that it has a nice tight seal. When we tight, we are right. So you can just kind of walk around it, okay? If there is a space and you find that there is a little bit of a leak, you guys have Tegaderm. Tegaderm, familiar? 3M Tegaderm? Okay, 3M. You don't. It's Tegaderm. So yeah, Tegaderm. It's fine. So you can just walk around, and if you find an area and you need to patch it, it's like patching a bicycle tire. It's like patching an air mattress. You're just gonna do that, find it, patch it up. Okay. The other thing is just make sure if you have a leak, and what will happen, you guys, is on the machine it will tell you. So if it's alarming, it's gonna go beep beep beep. That's what you're gonna hear, beep beep beep. And God, that's annoying. I need to shut it up. So it will tell you leak or blockage. So with a leak, just make sure the canister's on. All right. I always say it's a 3C check, and that's what's on this sheet. So if you're looking at it, Charles, you can see it's going through. It's real simple. 3C check. Check the canister. Make sure it's engaged. Make sure it's on. All you gotta do with this one is hear this lever. Press it down, take it off, put it right back on. You hear it click. If it's making noise, and again, the second C we wanna check is our connection. All right? With this, you just wanna line it up, get in the groove, push in, twist. Make sure it's tight. If it's tight, we all right. Get here, you wanna check to see if we have a good seal. It's not a C, but it sounds like it. So just check to make sure we got a good seal. Those are the things to check. If we can't fix it, what should you do? Just take it off. Solve your own problem, right? That's the solution to the problem. Just take it off. Turn the machine off. Let it be, right? If it's a blockage alarm, that's going to be a little bit more challenging because we don't know where the blockage is. But again, if it's alarming, it will say it across the screen. It'll say blockage. With a blockage, just look. You don't have extra canisters, but the canister could be full. Okay, that's fine. We can't do anything about that. Also checked, the C's here are the clamps. The clamps are down, fluid can't move, so we would just open them up. Just make sure they're open at all times, okay? And then here, we could have gunk up in this trackpad. It could be fibrin clotting, it could be whatever. So again, if we have a blockage, we don't have the things to fix it. We don't have extra canisters, we don't have extra dressings. What should we do? We'll just turn this machine off and remove it. That's going to be your forced function because you don't have time to keep dealing with an alarm condition. So it's a real easy fix. But what I did bring you are the reasons why it's alarming, and then you can resolve that situation real easy, okay? One of the other things, you guys, and because we don't have it happen a lot, it's just kind of one of those, might happen, who knows when. We try to teach our home health agencies to use this sticker. I teach it to them because of you. All right? I teach it to them because of you. If the patient has to return to the hospital, how are they getting here? They're coming through the ED. So I teach home health nurses to write on the sticker what is in the wound bed. What is in here? What date was it changed and what is in here? What you could potentially find in this wound bed is the black foam, white foam, or a non-adherent layer, okay? So if they write on here, I have 2 pieces of black and 1 white, that's what we're looking for, okay? That helps you get everything out of there possible. We can't leave anything in there. Now again, we're gonna get double checked when they get up to the unit. If they stay, they'll be looking at it as well, so that might be your backup. Okay? Good with that? All right. Anything that you think, well, she didn't talk about this, or she didn't talk about that? Any questions? No?
For drape removal, she said it already, but moist gauze, because it can be kind of painful for the drape, but to
Flood it.
flood it and remove it.
Yeah. Usually if it's not connected, it's been loose and probably flailing in the wind anyway, and you're like, oh, let me just remove that for you. Okay? Alright. Anything else? You guys, I really don't want you to have the challenge of having to perform an application or anything like that, so I just make it real easy. The alarm conditions will come across the screen. I've given you a cheat sheet that will be put into somewhere in the ED. And then, you know, always just revert to, if you can't fix it, just remove it. That's your easiest solution, okay? All right. That's all I